What's up guys, my name is Duke Sloth, and if you know me then you know what time it is. Patch notes time, let's do it. The patch is called Combo Breaker, and the first big picture you see here is the picture of Ravana, the new god that will be released next patch. Let's get right into the abilities. Most of you probably know them, I'm just gonna go through them real quick. Chain of Blows. Each successive hit within 5 seconds adds to Ravana's combo chain, allowing Prana Onslaught to do additional 7.5% damage for each hit in the combo, up to a maximum of 60% in total. Additional hits above 8 will not count towards this damage, and again until Prana Onslaught has been fired. Which relates to the first ability, Prana Onslaught. Ravana throws a powerful punch, projecting his Prana with it to deal 60, 80, whatever, up to 75% of his physical power, damage, and slowing for 2 seconds all enemies in front of him. English not very good yet, but whatever. And then we have Overhead Kick. Ravana performs a high kick, sending a shockwave forward to deal up to 195 damage plus 70% scaling to all enemies in a line, and rendering him damage immune for the action, similar to Chang'e in her 2. Then we got 10-hand Shadow Fist. Ravana's fist flies forward, dealing up to 215 damage plus 55% of his physical power in damage to enemies in a line, passing through minions and stopping on the first guard hit. Hit guards are rooted for 1 second. Damaging enemies heals Ravana based on the damage dealt. And then we got Mystic Rush, his ultimate. Ravana rushes to his target, dealing up to 175 plus 35% of his physical power as damage to them, and knocking aside all enemies in his path. The target is then linked to Ravana, doing full damage to him, while all the other enemies do 40% reduced damage. Some of you may recall this from a character called Poppy in a similar fashion. That's it for Ravana. I'm not going to talk much more about him because obviously I've done that quite a few times. We've got new skins. We've got a new Ao Kwang skin. I'm sorry, I wanted to show you that one. Pretty sweet. Should be a tier 2 if I can recall correctly. Then we have the Iron Crow Ho Yi skin, which is just beautiful if you ask me. And we have the recolor for Ravana, which is basically him in grey. There's a new voice pack going along with that, and there are new announcer voice packs. We've got Agony and Nox. I'm surprised it didn't become a Willish, but whatever. So these will be available through the season ticket, as well as the Iron Crow Ho Yi. So we get to the season ticket upgrade. Season ticket has had a major upgrade this patch with new features and new unlock goals. We want to remind players that season ticket can be played through to Smite World Championship in January 2016 and will include matches from the upcoming fall split as well as selected tournaments. There is still plenty of time to get your ticket and start earning rewards to pick from picking games and playing Smite. New features. Season ticket now supports multiple splits and especially wins with a drop-down option. So what this means is you can vote. Oh, hang on, it's coming up. Now, better supports 2 game split sets by allowing choice of either team or split for 1-1 results. So you can vote split if you think each team is going to win once, but you don't have to decide which game they're going to win. It now supports tournaments, now supports free treasure rolls of any non-exclusive skin, voice pack, or boost at a certain fantasy point goal. And here we got the rewards. We go from the old ones that you already know. You get a treasure roll at 2,500. You get Void Worm still at 3,000. At 3,500 you get another treasure roll. At 4,000 you get the ticket frame upgrade 1. At 4,500 another treasure roll. At 5,000 the Nox announcer pack. At 5,500 another treasure roll. At 6,000 the Swagny announcer pack. At 6,500 another treasure roll. At 7,000 the Iron Crow Ho Yi. At 7,500 the treasure roll again, and at 8,000 another frame upgrade. This is still not all that will be there apparently, because it said more to come. Players will be back rewarded for rewards this patch if they have already earned enough fantasy points for them. So you get the treasure rolls regardless of if you reach the goal before the patch. There is a new UI for viewing rewards and picking games. Players coming late to the season ticket or looking for a boost now have the option to unlock fantasy points for gems. All gem unlocks will contribute $1 for every 300 gems spent to the generous prize pool for Season 2 esports. This is actually okay because you can just earn the points by playing. And this is nice for people who have money but don't have time to play Smite that much. So everyone has the option to get everything if they want to, depending on the way they prefer. Updated season ticket scoring rules. Each week you make picks for which teams you think will win Smite Pro League matchups and tournaments. Picking a single game correctly will earn you 20 fantasy points. Picking a set of best of 2 series correctly will earn you 40 fantasy points. Picking your favorite teams in the tournament will earn 20 plus for a one-off round, 40 points for every other round in the tournament they win, an additional 60 points if they win the championship match in the tournament. Players can also earn 15 fantasy points for winning any normal or league Smite match while using the season ticket loading frame. Earning fantasy points unlocks limited rewards. Yeah, we know that. Got a few new emotes: Bellona, Dance, Isis Furious, Sun Wukong Furious, Vulcan Furious. We've got an updated God card for Quicksilver Mercury and Misdiagnosis. There is the obvious season ticket frame that we had. There is a fix to the notifications, fix to the mouse over. There is clan. Admins can now update clan data without having new clan events reset fields. Okay. Match details fixed, showing level 20 for all players on the stats tab. Match lobby fixed, first bench showing wrong sort of order for draft pick. Miscellaneous arena at low world whatever. Just some the static crowd. No, that's actually nice. So people that play on low settings now actually get a little crowd. Fixed chat and announcer packs will only play for yourself now, which is great. Rabot will level up in jungle practice, which is good for testing out stuff. The phoenixes will respawn. There was a glitch with that apparently sometimes. Some 2D ground targeters have been fixed, and buff and debuff timers have increased accuracy now. Spectate has a fix, and you can now turn off overlay mesh using Control and O. Now for the interesting stuff, in my opinion. Gameplay. General, a highly requested change. The point at which lifesteal items can allow soloing objects is being shifted to a much later in the game. Fire Giant and Gold Fury now have 50% reduction in lifesteal from hitting them. So this is basically a nerf to hunters because they can't solo them that easy anymore. Mostly, anyways. Ward changes. The warding metagame within Smite has become stale. There's currently no scarcity in vision. Reducing the vision range of basic wards and incentivizing, oh my god, what a word, removing wards is expected to increase gankability in the laning phase. Reduce the maximum number of wards placed per player from 3 to 2, even if you have them in your inventory. Killing an enemy basic ward or sentry rewards 50 gold. Lasted only, no assist. Basic wards vision range reduced from 60 to 45. All wards are revealed for 1 second when placed. Eye of Providence has been removed. Sad day. Alright, so what this means is, you can carry 3 wards still. You can only use 2 of them, otherwise the first one goes away. You can place them right away if there's an enemy, but if they're like 3 enemies and they all see the ward right away, they can destroy it before it's even active, so it's visible for them for a second. It's worth getting sentries a lot more because A, you can destroy enemy wards with them and get kind of part of the gold back, so aggressive warding is rewarded, and also they have a larger vision range than basic wards do now. In general, it makes it more team focused warding because there's no one who can place 3 wards anymore, and especially junglers are gonna want to ward a little more aggressive, but even the solo laner can do that now in order to increase his chances of getting a gank with his jungler and so on. It's a little more rewarding at the same time, so it's great. Gold Fury. The Gold Fury rewards now scale, making early kills less destabilizing and encourage trading towers for early objectives. The value of the Gold Fury kill now scales team gold starting at 100 and gaining plus 10 per minute of the game, up to a maximum of 350. The value of the Gold Fury kill now scales team XP starting at 100 and gaining plus 10 per minute of game to a maximum of 250. The Gold Fury now breaks player deployables that bar her path. So, this is some interesting changes and means the Gold Fury is not going to be aggressed on that much early. A level 1 Gold Fury kill is not going to be rewarding anymore at all. Gods like Anhur cannot kill her that easily, especially in combination with the lifesteal taken away, but meaning that she can break player deployables actually makes you not want to use them. And she's gonna be more relevant later in the game, but she's less important than towers at some points now, which is very, very interesting. Kill bounties. XP rewards for god kills in the early game have been adjusted. The calculations now grant less for low level victims, but are still rewarding at higher levels. Globally, XP bounties for players has been adjusted to reward less XP for early game kills, by giving 50 plus 30 times the victim's level. In Arena, XP bounties for players remain similar to before, rewarding 50 plus 13 times the victim's level. So, the higher level the enemy is, the more rewarding it is to kill him. Very obvious here. Jungle creatures. There are a number of modifications to the jungle and Hand of the Gods happening in this patch. The base stats of several camps have been adjusted to reflect this. We'll get to that later. Cyclops Small, reduced starting health from 250 to 180, reduced physical damage from 9 to 5. Harpy Small, reduced starting health from 250 to 180, reduced physical damage from 8 to 5. Cyclops Buff Holders Big, reduced starting health from 1080 to 960, increased health growth from 55 to 65 every 3 minutes. This is relevant, they get stronger later. But it's not relevant in such a way as they are weaker early and until that's made up for way too far into the game. Conquest jungle maps. The mid camps are returning to their first spawn at 010 to encourage more diversity in team-wide jungle starts. Along with this, we are adjusting the flow of the jungle by offsetting and reducing many of the jungle camp respawns. We want the jungle to feel fluid and varied, giving the jungler role in Conquest more options for possible routes while ensuring they have enough to do in between ganks. Attack speed camp purple, reduced spawn timer from 4 minutes to 3 minutes, same goes for the blue. And then we have harpies in the back, reduced spawn time from 100 to 80 seconds. Elder harpy camps in the mid, now spawn at 10 seconds, corrected issue where the respawn was at 310 rather than 3 minutes. This is interesting. Many of you will remember that it used to be like that before this patch. Now, before the season, now they're back. I didn't enjoy it that much because much was focused on the mid harpies and getting the right gods for the mid harpies because they gave most XP and so on and so on. It's gonna be back to that. Deal with it. Nothing we can do about it. Interesting fact is that only 2 of the buffs seem to have a reduced timer. Maybe it's just not in the patch notes yet, but apparently it doesn't affect yellow and red. So in that case, we will probably see a lot of Guardian support and ADC Hunter doing their attack speed on their own. But as a jungler, you will hear a lot of complaints from soul lane. My blue is up, get it for me. Just so you know, heads up here. Items. Hand of the Gods tree. Holy damn. This is big. Hawk has dominated Smite active items for quite some time. It's become somewhat of a crutch to Conquest and has reduced the effectiveness of certain counter picks and matchups throughout the game. With the changes below, we've adjusted the effectiveness of Hog in lane, requiring more buy-in for it, while preserving its ability to secure jungle buff camps. Jungle camp buffs. Hand of the Gods rank 1. Only hits a single target. Target is always the one with the biggest, highest maximum health. Rage of the Gods rank 2. Now hits 2 targets. Targets are always the 2 with the highest maximum health. Fist of the Gods. NPC targets are always the 3 with the highest maximum health. Wrath of the God, which is rank 3. For a while, Wrath has been the primary indicator of which team would take an objective. While we still want Wrath to have the ability to secure objectives, we also want well-timed, high-damaging ultimates to be contenders. This change from percent health to flat damage on Wrath allows for that in the late game. No longer deals a percentage of health damage to objective bosses. Now deals 480 true damage to jungle camps and 900 true damage to objectives, which is Fire Giant, Gold Fury and Siege Juggernaut. Subsequent Wrath of the God uses by your team on the same target deal 50% reduced damage for 10 seconds. Objective health bars now turn yellow at 900 health. This is very interesting. The whole thing that's going on with Hog means jungle clear is harder, even though the camps got nerfed, but jungle clear is still going to be harder. Rage of the God starts might be more rewarding because it already kills off 2 targets. It might not be gone from lane entirely. I'm not sure yet, because it can still clear 2 of the melee minions basically, or back archers. So it could still be relevant, but it's not as potent anymore. So it is interesting. It is interesting. The change, I'm not quite sure what it will do. And I don't think the change to objectives is that huge, as you still wait for the bar to turn gold in order, or to turn yellow in order to use Wrath. But you can't spam Wrath just to secure it basically. And it all works a little differently. We will see. I don't think it's going away. It's still way too relevant to be taken from junglers or supports, but solo laners might want to use other options. Let's move on. Greater Sprint. Sprint has a whole was providing too much utility as an escape tool in the early game and transitioning into a heavily offensive skewed ability in the late game, and no longer removes in-hand movement penalty. This is important for hunters because they can't use it that well aggressively. A killer spear might become more relevant now, depending on how many slows the enemy team has. Heavenly Agility. Reduced duration from 6 seconds to 5 seconds. This is to balance out a little bit Sprint. It's not a huge change though. Hasten Fatalis. The in-hand movement speed penalty is now removed for 2 seconds instead of 1 second on a successful hit. I've been preaching Hasten Fatalis for a while. I love it. This is going to make it even better. I don't think it's going to replace boots for most people though, because on hunters that is, because it's still the fact that you're slower in general when not fighting. But it makes it more potent while fighting, which is great in my opinion. It's especially great for melees that need to stick to their targets, Ravana, the new god, and so on. It's a nice item. Kin size, price reduced from 3,050 to 2,850. It's a small change. Kin size is still a very strong item in itself, but I'm not sure if it's gonna do anything major. 200 gold is just not enough to justify it when crit is still as strong as it was before. Shoes of the Magi now reduces magical power from 65 to... I'm sorry. Shoes of the Magi reduces magical power from 65 to 40. I guess the magical power is reduced from 65 to 40. That would make more sense. Now provides plus 10 magical penetration. Price increased from 1,550 to 1,600. This is going to buff not only mages, but also guardians. Flat pen is great early on. Extra damage. I don't see any reason to buy CDR anymore, because flat pen gives you so much more damage. It's so incredibly potent. A lot is going to change for mages, and this is a huge factor in it. I'm not sure if it was a good decision to implement it on only one of the items. Time will tell. It will put mages ahead in the early game. It's not going to be fun for those who try to fight them early game, especially assassins. won't like it too much. It's gonna put Guardians ahead even more, so Jungle Guardians are gonna be more potent. So relevant change, very relevant change. Magi's Blessing. Even with early adjustments, Magi's Blessing is overperforming, activating multiple times in skirmishes. This item has moved outside of its intended position as an anti-CC item tool to an obligatory luxury item for all classes. We are extending the cooldown on the passive and adding a bump in gold to focus this item more precisely. Increased price from 2,250 to 2,350. Increase cooldown from 60 seconds to 90 seconds. If you recall, it already got an increased cooldown recently. I am not sure if I like this. I don't think we need that much CC anyways. I think it's good that we had some options against it. We have even less now. Spirit Rope might just be the way to go soon if this goes on. We will see. Only time can tell. But considering how often the god like Thor has his stun, Magi's is just gonna be popped and then not be seen again forever. Change to Heartseeker and Doom Up at the same time. Heartseeker has always been an exciting item. However, we are shifting its focus away from farming and more to an exciting stacking method. Along with this, the amount of stacks has been greatly reduced, meaning that subsequently each stack is worth far more physical power. 20 physical power plus 10 movement speed. Passive, you gain 6 physical power per stack and receive 2 stacks per god kill and 1 stack per god kill assists. Half of your stacks are lost on death, max 10 stacks. Doom Orb, see above. 40 magical power, 200 mana, plus 7 MP5, and 10 magical power per stacks, 2 stacks per kill, 1 stack per assists, half stacks lost on death. Are we gonna see it as much as before? I don't think so. It's gonna be a more risky choice, and if you get focused the moment you buy it, you're gonna get destroyed. You won't get that many kills early to make it relevant, and other stacking items are just more potent later on. So I basically think it's just going to take them away. They might just pop up here and there if you're completely steamrolling, but it's not worth the risk if you lose half your stacks on death and you get to 10 stacks and then you need 2 kills and an assist again. I highly doubt it's going to be very intriguing. Let's pick. Void Shield got a little fix. Witchblade got a little tooltip fix, and God Balance, Agony, just some fire effects. Poach. Undaunted Scourge updated tooltip to say at the ranks 1 to 3 this ability only spawns 1 decaying corpse. Polo, Across the Sky fixed a few conquest map issues. Willish, Feather Steps fixed not crippling Sun Wukong while in bird form, which is great. He was able to get away and now he no longer can. Gravity Surge fixed roots not probably shedding. Not even sure what that means. Oh, getting rid of roots for her. The stat, since the pesky cat's natural predator, Hand of the Gods, is seeing a reduction, the kitty's health is being reduced as well. Cat Call reduced health of the cats from 650 to 500 and up to 850 to 700. Good, because you can also destroy them without Hawk now. Was always annoying. Good decision here. Hope it's enough to keep him away. Just some fixes on Shark that don't have any in-game relevance. Same goes for Jungle. We got the Jade Rabbit fixed, but Rabbit not returning with actives and consumables purchased if using auto-buy. This is relevant. And Moonwalk's updated description to say that it also gives mana and dodge for dodging basic attacks. Gap Rollout fixed Gap losing movement speed after gaining crowd control immunity. That's just great. Guan Warriors will fix cripple immunity not working. Good. Hercules Earthbreaker fixed not hitting if targets were partially in a wall. Sorry, good. Kali Lash fixed lifesteal not being granted on targets with Shield of the Underworld being granted. Big mistake. Alright, makes sense. Destruction fixed roots not properly shedding, same as a Willish. Took a long time for Kali then. Loki General fixed arena recommended item builds, missing last item. Nemesis Retribution updated tooltip with the correct health values. Another visual fix. Another tooltip fix. Nox Shadow Step fixed an interaction with Janus Portal. Poseidon, Whirlpool fixed Trident of icon showing when on enemies instead of Whirlpool. Ra, Divine Light, updated tooltip to state that enemies looking at Ra will gain 2 slowing stacks per tick instead of 1. Tusker General fixed a condition where he could be killed twice, which is very interesting. Could pull him from the ground with Ares. Although Wheeled Axes, Wheeled Bow now mentions disarm in the description. He's immune to that since a recent patch. Shiva the Destroyer General fixed untextured sets, whatever. Branching Bowl are fixed, a case where sometimes the FX would turn off. Alright, that's it for the patch notes. Quite a lot, quite a lot. Big changes to jungle and interesting options with the change towards more aggressive plays early, less relevance of the Gold Fury, more relevance on lanes and towers. So you're gonna see a lot more ganking from the jungle, I think. You're gonna see more aggression from the mages, more rotations there with a pen item from the Guardian. And so the whole plays are gonna be more aggressive. Counter warding is gonna be a much bigger thing. I'm excited for this. I'm gonna just see how it pans out. Hopefully gonna be very cool. That's it for this patch. Thank you guys for tuning in. Leave a like, leave a sub if you feel like it. That's it from me. Duke's Lost. Out.